Hey Mama, welcome to the podcast. This is my Tuesday episode, and on Fridays I am going through a pregnancy week by week. So if you or one of your friends is pregnant, I encourage you to tell your friends about this progression and follow along as we learn about each phase of pregnancy week by week. Not only what happens in our body, but also mental things to help us get through those phases, because there are some difficult phases that come with pregnancy. But on Tuesday, I am focused on more motherhood-focused things, and right now I'm focused on weight loss in motherhood, because that has been a big roadblock for me at times, but also I found a lot of successes, and I need to share those tips. A lot of them are mindset tips, similar to pregnancy, that can help your mind be okay with doing the hard thing and losing weight instead of feeling like you can't do it. It is mostly a mental game. So we are going to continue that. I started that back in January. If you want to follow along and jump into the previous episodes, it can be a standalone, but they build on each other. So anyways, let's jump into the episode for today. Hi, I'm Jocelyn, host of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. I help pregnant women and mothers to find positivity in their season of life through changing their thoughts to work for them and not against them. I help mothers find the small, doable steps in thought and action without making drastic changes to their everyday mom life, and I can help you. Thanks for joining. Okay, today's tip is a physical and a mental tip. It is both of them. But this tool, this tip, whatever you want to call it, has been very powerful in helping me to get my mind off of the foods I can't eat and more to where I want my mind to be when it comes to foods, and also to the life that I want to live. I imagine you don't want to spend your whole life thinking about the foods you can't have and the foods you can have, and just overthinking food all the time. It can feel very draining, like almost emotional, and almost to the point to where it's hard to focus on anything else because this occupies so much of your brain space. But as you do these things and as you get better at it, it will occupy less and less of your brain space, allowing you to do more and more of other things, helping you to become the person you want to be, which is what we're trying to do in our motherhood, is we're trying to be better mothers, better women, and being the ones that we desire to be. So moving forward in losing weight, in not thinking about food all the time, is a step in the right direction, or at least it has been for me. So this tool is lovingly titled The Art of Distraction. And as you can tell by the title, you're going to use distraction to get your mind off of the food. This is easier said than done, and this is going to take practice. So if you get discouraged, don't shame yourself, because you will get discouraged. I still get discouraged on times when I'm not completely successful, but shame doesn't help anything. I should probably do a whole episode on shame and eating food because it's a thing. But today, with the art of distraction, I just want you to not overthink it and distract yourself with something else. So let's say you just had lunch, but you're kind of now have the munchies. Instead of browsing through your kitchen cupboards, finding all the stashes you have, distract yourself with something. Distract yourself with a good book, with a podcast episode, with playing with your children, with an unfinished project, or something on your to-do list. But distract yourself with something outside of the kitchen. Maybe even just go outside, but remove yourself from the kitchen and distract yourself with something else. You're not hungry, you don't really need it, and you actually are going to be fine if you move away from the kitchen. Now, this takes some convincing, because our mind is going to remind us that that cookie or those Oreos or that whatever your favorite snack is seems to make you feel better. So you need it every afternoon. But in reality, your mind does this just because it feels like that keeps you safe. It feels like that snack is keeping you safe, or the munchies, or whatever is going on. But in reality, it is not helping you reach your goals. So sometimes you have to talk back in your mind mentally and tell it different stories like, I don't need that right now. I'm not even hungry. I just feel munchy, but I don't need it. And it doesn't support my long-term goals. So I am going to distract myself. Pick up a new hobby. Start writing. I've talked about this in a few previous episodes, but learn one of the grandma crafts like sewing, crocheting, knitting, embroidery, making lace, needle art. There's all sorts of things, painting. I'm saying lots of ums that you could pick up and do to distract yourself. Or read your kids a book. More one-on-one time with your kids is going to benefit them and your motherhood. They will feel more loved from you. There are a plethora of things that you can do to distract yourself from thinking about food. If you overthink it, it's going to be hard to overcome. So that's another thing. If you just stay there and you analyze all the reasons you should have the thing that you don't really want to have, versus all the reasons you shouldn't have, your brain is going to pick what it is used to, and it'll be easier for the past evidence to feel like you need to eat it. So don't overthink it. Just move on to a distraction and don't think about it again, or do your best to get your mind not to think about it. That is actually something that really helps me when it comes to getting better at eating healthy foods, is to not think about it. It's like the more I think about it, the harder it becomes to eat healthier. Do you have that problem? Or is it just me? But do something else to get your mind off of it. So that is the art of distraction. So physically, you need to relocate yourself, but mentally, you need to not allow your mind to dwell on the fact that you really want that. And then after you distract yourself, guess what happens? This is amazing. This is why they build on each other, is that becomes a win. Last week, I'm pretty sure it was last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, I did the episode called Celebrate Small Victories. And as you distract yourself, you are building your library of small victories, which are helping you have long-term success. And it is by small and simple things that great things are brought to pass. And small means, in many instances, doth confound the wise. Small means is going to bring you big weight loss. It's going to get you on that road trip, as I've mentioned in past episodes as well, to point A to point B, to the weight you are now, to the weight you desire to be. So build that library with the art of distraction, and you'll actually find yourself more happy doing some of these hobbies. Now, I am going to give you one word of caution. Do not distract yourself with social media. That is not going to help. Because doom scrolling is not good for your minds, and it will not help you to, there's a lot of reasons why it does not help you, but, my biggest encouragement is don't scroll for the art of distraction. Do one of the other things I've listed, pick up an instrument, anything, but don't scroll. So use the art of distraction, celebrate those small victories, and know that you are making progress. You got this, mama. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for implementing what you learn into your own life. And thank you for sharing. I don't do any advertising, so all of my podcast is grown through word of mouth. So I appreciate you doing that, and we will chat again next week. Celebrate those victories by using the art of distraction. Until next time. Thank you for being a part of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast, for listening, for sharing, and most of all, for applying these tools into your own life to improve your own happiness so that you can find your own better thoughts for a better you in a positive pregnancy, in losing that stubborn baby weight, and becoming the mom you desire to be through taking small steps in thought and action to reach your goals. If you are a mother who has an inner desire to enjoy motherhood and pregnancy better, but you are having difficulty figuring it out, I can help you. I can help you find the small, doable steps without drastic changes to your everyday mom life. Reach out, let's connect, and let's see you move forward. My name is Jocelyn, and I thank you for listening. Until next time.